Mr. Okoye, Mr. Okafor says he was appointed acting national chairman by members of the NWC. And then you say that the party leadership does not recognize that NWC. How many forms a quorum? And what number does Mr. Okafor have? How many are in support of Mr. Okafor as acting national chairman?
To that extent, let's do a little arithmetic. The arithmetic in that press conference you just showed, which was witnessed by major stations, Channel was there, NTA was there, AIT, and the rest of them were all there. There were 21 members of the National Working Committee present in that meeting, and they all signed, which means that only 7 members were absent. Now, for Mr. Mwabweze to claim he had any sort of meeting, it means that he could have had a meeting with the 7 others. The 7 others, obviously, cannot constitute the National Working Committee based on the constitution of APGA, unless he picked people from the streets to make members of a National Working Committee. But one thing, every member of the National Working Committee has been verified and his name is in INEC with his photograph. Okay,
just a moment, Mr. Okoye. Mr. Okafor, how many members of the 28th National Working Committee of APGA are behind you as acting national chairman?
Well, I don't know the NWC that Obi Okoye is speaking for, but not definitely the NWC of All Progressive Grand Alliance. Of course, you know, in democracy there's a plurality of opinions and positions. Of course, I can remember vividly that the day Victor Okoye was suspended, Obi Okoye voted against his suspension because we had 24 members in that meeting. 13 voted for his suspension, and 7 voted against his suspension, and the others absented from the voting. And Obi Okoye was one of the people who vigorously campaigned against his suspension, deriving largely from the fact that he's his kinsman from about the same area in Anambra State. So I can understand that. But the fact remains that Victor Okoye was suspended on the 5th of October 2016. We had written to INEC, we had written to all the relevant organs of government that should be informed about such a decision. You cannot take a meeting. Of course, after the suspension, Victor Okoye has been apologizing and going around and begging for his sins to be forgiven. And a lot of meetings have been called, one of which Obi Okoye is claiming to be an NWC meeting, because I am sure that some sort of peace meeting was called and some members were appealed to. In fact, I've heard that day that Victor Okoye was coming to announce his suspension. Of course, he couldn't have convened an NWC meeting independently of his suspension. He remains suspended and does not have the power to.
Okay, just a moment, Mr. Okafor.
Until the suspension is
the chairman of your party's board of trustees and your party's national leader, Governor Willie Obiano, convened a peace meeting on the 13th of October, which you were part of. Aren't you working in sync with your party's national leadership, your national leader, Governor Willie Obiano?
Well, the chairman of the board of trustees and the national leader of the party, Governor Willie Obiano, convened a meeting in Oka, where he sought and every member of the party looked for means to settle the crisis and find a peaceful resolution to the issues that were raised in the suspension, in the meeting where Okoye was suspended. But of course, the process, and after the meeting, we all left the meeting and we were waiting for a conclusion of the peace process. And Okoye suddenly went to the media, called media houses, and called those who suspended him rebels and miscreants and charlatans. And the peace process, of course, was scuttled.
Mr. Okafor, Governor Obiano, your party leader, Mr. Okafor, your party leader, Governor Obiano, is in support of or recognizes Victor Oye as the national chairman of the party? I direct that question to you once again. Aren't you working in sync with your party leadership?
Well, the level in which this issue is dominated presently is the National Working Committee. The issue has not been escalated. It's been escalated beyond the National Working Committee, and we are dealing with it at the level of the National Working Committee. We might have to revert to NEC and the other organs of the party, but incidentally, the matter presently is in the court, where the court is trying to determine whether the suspension of Ike as the national chairman of APGA and my appointment as the acting national chairman of the party is valid and should hold. So I think I'll leave certain issues because it's already in the domain of the court.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is that, of course, if Ike can come on air and to defend the position he has always held since October 5th. But the fact is that the majority of the members of the National Working Committee suspended Victor Ike Oye because of a lot of infractions and breaches of the constitution of APGA. And instead of dealing with the issues, we are here spreading sentiments of who is supporting who and who is not supporting who. We said that in the last 17 months, we have not had a NEC meeting. Victor Ike Oye should tell us the date and the venue where we had a NEC meeting in 17 months. He should tell us our party offices across the 36 of the Federation. These are issues that can even make INEC to derail the party. So instead of addressing the critical issues, we are using certain sentiments to come and try to.
All right, Mr. Hold on a moment, Mr. Okafor. Mr. Obi-Okoye, Mr. Okafor has raised several issues, meetings not being convened, no conventions, and all whatnot. Your party is definitely embroiled in some kind of crisis. What are the moves being made to resolve these issues?
I must tell you that I'm a bit worried about the platform in which our brother is speaking. We are here to tell the whole world the truth about what is happening in APGA, and it would be unfortunate if we manufacture stories in order to embellish whatever standpoint. There were two things. Happily, he could not answer the question you put to him as to how many members were on his side. Then the other issue, which gets me worried, is the fact that he claims that there was voting on that day, that I voted in favor of Victoria and they voted against and they won. That is clearly falsehood. I hate to use such words on television.
But what is the way forward for the All Progressives Grand Alliance?
Sorry, I'm really worried that he will make such a spurious claim which does not exist at all, because there was absolutely no voting on the day in question. They raised certain issues.
Having said all, what avenues should the All Progressives Grand Alliance be exploring now to resolve this leadership crisis?
That obviously has come in place. The leader of the party, who is the governor of Anambra State, with principal stakeholders, the former national chairman was present, Ambassador Bianca was there, Bianca Ono was there, the former national secretary was there. A whole lot of them were there in the first peace meeting we had. And we had resolutions. We agreed in principle. We had group photograph in order to celebrate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obi-Okoye, for joining us on the program tonight. Thank you very much, the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Ifeanyi Obi-Okoye, and the factional national chairman of the party, Nwabueze Okafor, for sharing your thoughts with us on the program. That's our program tonight. Many thanks for being part of the show. I'm Imana Amare. Bye for now.